After an incredible weekend in San Antonio, Houston will see rounds 3 and 4 of Stadium Championship Series East. Tyler Menninger leads the charge in points as Tristan England and Tom Mance aren't far behind. Tom Mance has unveiled a full-body maximum destruction, an incredible blast from the past that will give the Houston fans an event to remember. So without further ado, this is our Houston 2024 event review. Stadium Championship Series East this week has had a bit of a shake-up in the lineup. The lineup will feature Tyler Menninger in Gravedigger, Tom Mance in Max D, Tristan England in the JCB Diggertron, Todd LeDuc in Megalodon, Charlie Porkin fills in for Lindsey Reed, driving the Lucas Stabilizer, Bryce Kenny in the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior, Jamie Garner in El Toro Loco, Cole Vernard in the Black Pearl, Matt Pagliarulo in Jester, Mike Pagliarulo will campaign the Rod Ryan Show, John Gordon in Bad Company, and Ryan Desharoon in Shaker. Starting off with show number 1, in round 1 of racing, Black Pearl defeated the Lucas Stabilizer, and Shaker defeated Megalodon. Both Max D and what would be the Rod Ryan Show could not advance due to truck problems. Interestingly, Rod Ryan would run on Jester, and Mike Pagliarulo would run Kraken for the rest of this event. In round 2, Bad Company defeated the JCB Diggertron, Black Pearl defeated El Toro Loco, Gravedigger defeated Shaker, and the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior defeated Rod Ryan. In the semi-finals, Black Pearl defeated Bad Company, and Gravedigger defeated the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. The final round would see Gravedigger take on Black Pearl, and in the end, it would be Tyler Menninger defeating Cole Vernard for the racing win. With the Houston track conditions not as slick as San Antonio, in fact, it was actually quite tacky, drivers were really able to stretch their legs and try some great maneuvers. In third place was Todd LeDuc in Megalodon, pulling off 2 phenomenal bicycles into moonwalks, the latter of which he rode up the berm and almost was able to combo into another move. Taking second was last week's skills winner, Tyler Menninger in Gravedigger. In a rare moment for him, he wasn't really able to get the bicycle up like he normally does, trying to ride it around the stadium but couldn't keep the balance up, and the other he was unable to spin it into some sidewalls. Taking home the skills challenge win and the very first win for the all-new JCB Diggertron was Tristan England. He would pull off 2 great moonwalks, one off the center pod which he would combo into a wheelie, and another off the 2-wheel skills ramp. Freestyle would be a showcase of some really good runs from virtually all drivers. Starting us off was Todd LeDuc, and something from the get-go seemed wrong with the truck. The truck looked to have transmission issues and only had first gear. Unfortunately, that meant that this run really lacked any consistent flow, big hits, and ended with a failed save attempt. Out next was Tom Mance in Maximum Destruction, and his run was pretty solid. Just 2 hits into his run, he would pull off this absolutely ridiculous save and followed that up with huge air, a momentum moonwalk, and this crazy crash at the end. While it did have moments where the pace was really lacking, it was an all-around great run and took the lead with a 9.809. Mike Pagliarulo in Kraken was out next after finally seemingly figuring out his truck issues. His run was actually pretty solid, with some big air launches and even this cool transfer from the landing ramp to the racing lane. The run would not take the lead as the other half of Team Tomfoolery Motorsports was out next. The run started off well, however started to lose pace by the end of it. After this, we hear from the crew chief of... Todd, what the hell are you doing? Sit. There you go. Good job. Out next was John Gordon in Bad Company, and he laid down the best run of the night so far. The only thing that I think was missing was the amazing save that Tom Mance had, but Gordon's run featured some really big air, consistent flow, and the first mini flip of the tour. The fans still believed that Mens had the better run, but Gordon would place second in freestyle. Jamie Garner would hit the track next, and he would lay down a solid run that the fans really didn't like, only scoring a 6.859. Ryan Disharoon in Shaker would have a similar run to Gordon's, with huge air leaps and a small save after almost getting tripped up. The run would end with an end-over-end backflip that he unfortunately could not save. The run still scored decently, but again was not enough to take the lead away from Tom Meents. Charlie Porkin would hit the track for his first freestyle inside the Lucas stabilizer, and he was on his way to taking the lead away from Tom Meents. His huge air leaps added with another phenomenal save. The run was just vintage Charlie Porkin, continuing the big air assault with a nice little save near the parked trucks and an over-rotated backflip. In my eyes, this run was deserving of the lead. The only thing you could fault was the backflip not being landed. However, he would place third with Tom Meents still holding the lead. The phenom Tyler Menninger was poised to take the win after his incredible freestyle from San Antonio last weekend. The run started off well. It did have a hiccup in the middle of it with the truck shutting off, but after refiring, he was right back to it, adding in a great bicycle into save, though after this, he did look a little lost and searching for a new hit. He did perform a backflip into moonwalk, and afterwards would pull off yet another bicycle into save, but it was this crazy combo into this huge sky wheelie that ended the run early. The run would not take the lead, but would move up into second place. Bryce Kenny's freestyle run, while not as crazy and out of control as last week's, was still pretty good. I really enjoyed the flow and the two-wheel combo he had in the middle of the pod, not to mention the ginormous leaps, but unfortunately, his last leap would put an end to an overall good run. Meents still holds on to the lead, with Bryce Kenny finishing in 4th place. Cole Vernard in Black Pearl would hit the track next, and he, like Kenny, would have a pretty good freestyle run. It was a little different to how everyone else had been tackling the track. Rather than going from the outside to the inside and vice versa, Vernard opted to hit the pod from one of its other angles instead for some uniqueness. A small save and a great backflip was a great way to put his name in contention, but once again the fans still believe that Meents' run was the favorite, with only one truck left that can trump Meents' score. That, of course, was Tristan England in the JCB Digatron. The run had lots of technicality, such as this combo into the pod, big air leaps, and brilliant flow, but an under-rotated backflip into this bad bounce would end England's run early. It would unfortunately score really low, only getting a 7.870. That does mean that Tom Meents, for the second week in a row, wins freestyle in Houston Show 1. Unsurprisingly, Tyler Menninger takes home the overall event championship as the tour prepares for another action-packed event in Houston. After a solid first showing in Houston, Day 2 looked to be an even better event than the show previous. A reminder that for this event, Rod Ryan would run on Kraken as originally intended instead of Jester. In round 1, Megalodon defeated the Lucas Stabilizer, Max D defeated El Toro Loco, Great Clips Mohawk Warrior defeated the Rod Ryan Show, and Jester defeated Black Pearl. Max D would suffer truck issues and unfortunately could not advance, meaning that El Toro Loco would have the chance at redemption in round number 2. In round 2, Gravedigger defeated Megalodon, El Toro Loco defeated the JCB Digatron, Shaker defeated Jester, and Bad Company defeated the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. In the semifinals, Gravedigger defeated El Toro Loco, and Shaker defeated Bad Company. The final round would pit last week's Show 2 racing runner-up, Ryan Disharoon, against last night's racing winner, Tyler Menninger. Team Gravedigger takes home his 3rd racing win of the season, defeating Ryan Disharoon in Shaker. The skills challenge appeared to be on par with yesterday's competition. Taking third place would be Todd Leduc, who would perform 2 clean bicycles, with the latter seeing him putting it into a moonwalk. In second place would be Tyler Menninger in Gravedigger, who had a really good skills run. An incredible moonwalk to wheelie combo was pretty damn awesome, but his bicycle around half of the track was even more impressive than his first hit. However, taking his first skills challenge win of his historic final competitive season would be Tom Mentz in Maximum Destruction. He would walk out a perfect maximum moonwalk off the trench box, as well as a momentum moonwalk. Freestyle at Show 2 was completely off the hook. There was so much crazy and insane action that happened during this freestyle competition. Matt Pagliarulo in Jester would start us off, and his run was really enjoyable. It had some good flow, some big air launches, and ended with a backflip, scoring a 7.848. Mike Pagliarulo would follow, however, his run would only be 2 simple hits. After this big launch into the pod, he would clip the mini flip ramp, which would send him over onto his lid. Todd Leduc's freestyle was thankfully more fruitful than Show 1's. However, he still had moments where he just seemed to putt around the track and waste time. He did, however, get some big air at the end, pull off a perfect backflip, and score an 8.418 and take the lead for his run. Out next was Tristan England in the GCB Diggertron. The run, start to finish, had really great momentum, a perfect backflip, a tiny bit of 2-wheel technicality, and was just generally solid all around. It would take the lead away from Leduc, only edging him out by 56 hundredths of a point. Ryan Disharoon's freestyle was very short-lived, making only 1 jump before the truck inexplicably shut off and could not refire. Cole Vernard in Black Pearl was next, and he would have an epic run with an insane finish. After a big air assault filled with great pace, he would slow his run down to hopefully land a reverse backflip. While he didn't under-rotate the flip, he did over-rotate it, which unfortunately sent his truck onto his lid. It would be fantastic to see this another week, if it is even allowed to be attempted again. He would take the lead away from Tristan, scoring an 8.597. John Gordon in Bad Company would have a career-defining run that was incredible start to finish. First hit into his run, he would get a nice leap and rebound strangely, but stomped on the loud pedal to pull the front end up like a vintage power wheelie from the 2000s. After that, it was filled with unbelievably huge air, such as this one into the pod, a beautiful slap wheelie, and this incredible backflip into save. This would take the lead away yet again, scoring the first 9 of the night. Charlie Porkin was cooking up a great run, but he would spoil the broth when he tried transferring into the pod, getting an awful rebound and crunching the front end of the truck into the berm. The same could be said for Bryce Kenny, only his run ended when he tried landing on the step-up off-center, causing the truck to fall and crash into the ground. He did slightly outscore Porkin, probably helped by his better flow and bigger hang time. Tyler Menninger was out next, and as we've said twice this week, he would lay down a typical Menninger run. Huge air, incredible 2-wheel combos, one of which was out of almost nothing, a backflip to wheelie into rebound wheelie combo, and an incredible crash at the end was an awesome way to finish off his run. However, the judges believed that this was only worthy of second place, meaning John Gordon still holds his lead with only a few trucks left. Jamie Garner would head out to the track next. However, major truck issues would plague him almost immediately into his run. This unfortunately meant that he would place 9th in the standings so far, as the final truck to hit the track was yesterday's freestyle winner, Tom Meents in Maximum Destruction. The run, other than a short hiccup at the start with the truck randomly shutting off, was nothing short of another great Tom Meents freestyle. Maximum Destruction would soar throughout NRG Stadium during the run, even featuring a great backflip and a vintage Tom Meents crash, almost flipping onto the other parked trucks. However, Meents would finish 3rd, meaning that John Gordon secures his first freestyle win of the 2024 season. Do I even need to say that Tyler Menninger wins his 4th overall event championship of the season, continuing his streak of dominance? Points for Stadium Championship Series East have not changed too much, but are still worth talking about. Tyler Menninger continues to lead the charge with 132 points, with Tristan England only 24 points behind. Tom Meents moves up into 3rd place after his very fruitful weekend in Houston. The same applies to John Gordon, moving up into 4th place and only 5 points behind Meents. Bryce Kenny has fallen just a little bit in points, but still holds a modest 5th place. Todd LeDuc has climbed the ladder a little bit, but still far down in points, taking 6th place. Ryan Disharoon takes 7th, Cole Vernard secures 8th, Jamie Garner takes 9th, Teen Lucas Stabilizer holds 10th, Matt Pagliarulo sits in 11th, and Mike Pagliarulo unfortunately still holds last place. Houston was a pretty spectacular weekend with some great Monster Jam action. Both shows delivered and had some really entertaining moments. Show 1 was definitely the best first show of any weekend that we've covered in our event review series. The solid racing and skills challenge action, along with the incredible freestyle competition with the vintage Tom Meents save, definitely helped the event rank high. With that being said, I'm going to rate Houston Show 1 a solid 4 out of 5 stars. Houston Show 2 was honestly just as solid as Event 1, with only slightly better action. Racing and skills were great once again, but freestyle was elevated even higher with some incredible freestyles from a lot of drivers. The insane moves from Tyler Menninger, John Gordon, and especially Cole Vernard was awesome to see, and makes me hope that more drivers try awesome moves like these during their runs. With that being said, I'm going to rate show number 2 of Houston 4.25 stars. This puts show 2 at the same rating as San Antonio show 2 from last week, tying for the 2nd highest rating in the event review series. St. Louis will be the next stop for Stadium Championship Series East, and we cannot wait to see more of this exciting tour unfold. This week, we unfortunately don't have much news to report on, so results from this week will be covered in next week's news video, so make sure to check that out. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon with some more Monster Truck content.